Yo, it's your boy Smoke Bath for Madden video and NFL video. Today's video, we are going to be doing another weekly power rankings as we normally do. Week 11 has concluded, so let's go ahead and rank these teams. But right before we do get into it, just want to clarify to you guys that we take just about everything into account here when we are doing the power rankings, such as team record, obviously, standings, roster, depth chart, coaching, all that fun stuff. All right, well, coming in at 32 is going to be the Cleveland Browns after they have lost to the Baltimore Ravens. It was a division loss, and obviously the Browns are not a very good football team and not very well organized. Now, I know they don't have the worst record in the NFL, but record isn't everything. I think their roster is seriously weak. All right, 31, we got the Tennessee Titans, and I don't really need to explain myself there either. At least I don't think so. 30 is going to be the New York Jets, and they're going to move down one after they got a pretty brutal loss. So the Jets, honestly, I know they were looking okay for a millisecond just because they did rack up 2 wins, but Jets still aren't a very good football team. And 29 is going to be the New Orleans Saints. They're going to move up one after their bye week. I don't like moving people after their bye week, but it just naturally happens sometimes if a team goes down, like the New York Jets. So that is why the Saints have went up by only one slot. But again, this is the bottom of the barrel of teams. This shouldn't be too controversial. Everyone knows these teams are not the greatest. And the Tennessee Titans, I do believe the Titans do actually have the worst record in the NFL. I mean, they could very easily get 32. I'm not going to debate or argue with anyone if they want to put the Titans at 32. It is a weak performance from all of these teams. And 28 is going to be the Las Vegas Raiders. If you want to talk about weak performances, oh my God, talk about the Raiders. Only thing is saving them is a few people on their depth chart, like Brock Bowers and Max Crosby. It's the only people really saving them. Geno Smith is god-awful. The offensive line is god-awful. The Raiders are just horrible, absolutely horrible. And they got smoked by the Cowboys. George Pickens and CeeDee Lamb had a field day. Dak Prescott had 4 passing touchdowns. It was just ridiculous. 27 is going to be the New York Giants. 26 is going to be the Washington Commanders. After they lose to the Miami Dolphins, what the hell? I don't care if your backup's playing or not. The Commanders losing to the Dolphins is kind of insane to me. So, yeah, the Commanders, they are really starting to slip now. They are 26. The Commanders really need to get their head out of their asses. And 25 is going to be Cincinnati Bengals. They're going to move back 2 spots after another loss. Seems like the Bengals are also losing quite a bit. I don't know. They'll just randomly win a game, but I think their season was kind of doomed the second Joe Burrow got injured anyway. I know they're just trying to sneak out a few wins here and there until he gets healthy, but I think their season's honestly doomed. I think it's hard. They could just throw the towel in. It's not looking good for the Bengals, but they do have the best shot at anyone in this list right now to maybe crack a playoff berth, but I doubt it. The Atlanta Falcons, they're going to move back one, and honestly, it could be more because they lost to the Carolina Panthers. Now, I know the Panthers are actually respectable this year, but still, dude, Falcons are not looking good, and they just lost Michael Penix, I believe, for the rest of the year, so it's Kirk Cousins' time now. And 23 is going to be Miami Dolphins after they beat the Washington Commanders in the international game. They're going to move up too. The Dolphins were easily one of the worst teams in the league. I mean, they're still not great, but they're starting to improve a little bit in the rankings. 22 is going to be the Arizona Cardinals after, I believe, Jacoby Brissett. I mean, they did lose, but Jacoby Brissett, I think he set a record for most completions in a game. So that was pretty impressive to see. Out of all people, it was Jacoby Brissett, but it's still pretty fun to see. 21 is going to be the Minnesota Vikings after they suffer a pretty brutal loss. J.J. McCarthy is starting to look really rough out there. I don't know how to feel about the J.J. McCarthy era quite yet. He's had like 2 good games, and then he's had like 3 bad games. Well, then he was hurt, and then Carson Wentz took over. So I don't really know how to feel about the Vikings and J.J. McCarthy, but they definitely aren't the greatest, and that is for sure. That is why I got them at 21, moving back 5 total spots. Now, 20 is going to be the Houston Texans. They get pretty low-scoring game from them, from Davis Mills. But, I mean, they got the win. You can't hate on them. They are going to go down 1. 16-13 victory, though, so can't really blame them. but also the injury does hurt them. I mean, even though Davis Mills has been playing better than CJ Stroud for like maybe a week or two, we all know CJ Stroud is actually the better quarterback. So still, I got to knock him down a little bit for the injury, but I mean, it's not like Davis Mills is doing bad. Like I said, I mean, there was a few games where he looked honestly better than CJ Stroud. So it's not like it's a horrible thing, but just not the greatest thing for the Houston Texans. 19 is going to be the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're going to go up a spot after absolutely demolishing the Los Angeles Chargers. I believe the final score was I don't even remember the final score, actually. I think it was like 44-27, something like that. I know the Jaguars at least got 40 points. 18 is going to be the Dallas Cowboys after they spanked the Raiders. And, yeah, they're going to stay at the same spot now. I know a lot of people probably should say they could go up after that performance. But, I mean, they're facing the Raiders, one of the bottom barrel teams. And 17, the Baltimore Ravens. They had a pretty impressive week, but also they were facing a bottom barrel team in the Cleveland Browns. So it's like, you can only give them so much credit. 16 is going to be the Carolina Panthers going up 5 spots. And it's about time I actually put the Panthers up where they deserve it. I mean, come on. The Panthers definitely, I mean, I don't really understand how they're good, but they are getting wins. And Bryce Young will play good sometimes. And he did against the Atlanta Falcons. He whooped their ass, and it was 30-27. It was a close game, but still, that was pretty embarrassing for Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons needed to win that football game, and they did not. 15 is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers, staying right at the same spot. 14 is going to be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I feel that was a very important win for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. If they were able to get a win on the road in Buffalo, facing a very competitive team after your team's had a few shaky weeks, that's a perfect time to get your momentum back, and they did not do it, unfortunately. They're going to move back 2 spots. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are still a very good team, but they're going to move back 2 spots. 13 is going to be the Green Bay Packers, staying right at the same spot. And honestly, I think that's pretty fair. The Green Bay Packers, definitely in the first 5 weeks, people gave them a lot of credit, but they're starting to slip a little bit, and not a lot, but a little bit. And 12 is going to be the San Francisco 49ers. As crazy as it sounds, yes, the 49ers are above the Packers. They just got a better record. They've been getting wins with either Mac Jones, Brock Purdy, with George Kittle, or not George Kittle. Christian McCaffrey is kind of putting the team on his back, but that's nothing new. Brock Purdy did have a good game as well, though. He had 3 passing touchdowns. I remember that. And, yeah, the 49ers, the offense is looking good. Defense is still looking solid, even though they lost a lot of pieces last offseason on their defense. 11 is going to be the Los Angeles Chargers going back 1. They still have a very, very impressive record. I'm not going to let one blowout loss absolutely make the Chargers fall tremendously, but, I mean, they at least got to fall 1 because that was a pretty embarrassing loss. 10 is going to be the Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to move back 4 spots. It was a rough loss for the Chiefs, I'm not going to lie. Their record's not looking great either. We were just talking about not great records. And, the Chiefs are 5-5, I believe, which sounds insane to say out loud. Obviously, I know a lot of people are going to not like them being in the top 10, but with their roster, you got to put them in the top 10. Now, if it comes to week 13 and week 14, and they're still not getting wins, then yes, okay, I'll knock them back. But yes, that is why the Chiefs are there. But losing to the divisional rival Broncos, that does not help. And then obviously got the Seattle Seahawks after they lost to the division rival Los Angeles Rams. All right, now we're in the top 8. The Detroit Lions, they're going to move back 6 spots. Very embarrassing loss for the Lions. They went for it on 4th down 5 times, I believe, and they didn't get a single conversion. I mean, I know hindsight is always 20/20, but you gotta just stop being so ballsy, Dan Campbell. It ends up biting you in the ass. Now, it doesn't happen every time. It doesn't bite you in the ass every game. But when it does, it's crucial. And, I feel like I'm just a repeating record right now, or whatever it's called. But a broken record, that's what it's called, a broken record. I feel like I'm a broken record right now, but that was kind of an important win for the Lions. I mean, yes, they'll still probably make playoffs and all that, but I feel like that's a game they could have easily won. 7's going to be the Buffalo Bills, a very impressive victory. Josh Allen went crazy. He did throw 2 interceptions, which isn't great, but I think he made up for it with having 3 passing touchdowns and 3 rushing touchdowns. So definitely I think that's fair. I think he made up for it. 6 is going to be the Chicago Bears. They keep winning. I know a lot of people are going to flip out about the Bears being 6, but they keep winning football games. Whether it's luck or not, they keep doing it. Number 5 is going to be the Philadelphia Eagles, and let's get into the top 4. 4 is going to be the New England Patriots. If you don't think the Patriots are a top 5 team, you can honestly argue with a wall. One of the best records in the NFL. They got a very young core. It's looking like Drake May and Travion Henderson. It also did really good against the New York Jets on Thursday night. And the defense is actually somewhat solid. Christian Gonzalez, I really like him as well. 3, the Indianapolis Colts. They're on a bye week. They're going to stay in the same spot. But they've been just amazing just about all year. 2 is going to be Los Angeles Rams. Pretty impressive win against the division rival. Now, the Rams and Matthew Stafford have been absolutely unstoppable. Matthew Stafford is just, I don't know what the hell he's been doing. But it's been insane. I don't know how. Like, don't get me wrong. Matthew Stafford has always been a very, very good quarterback, but he's on an insane pace right now. I saw he's on a stretch of 20 touchdowns and 0 interceptions. That is insane. Matthew Stafford might be playing his best football at the age of 38, which is insane. And 1 is going to be the Denver Broncos. They were there last week. They take down the Kansas City Chiefs, who, yes, their record's not the greatest, but they're still a good football team. And yes, we all know that. They all still have superstars. They all still have good coaching. So they take down the Kansas City Chiefs, a big divisional rival. Denver Broncos are going to stay number 1. But watch out, the Rams are number 2, and they are red hot, and they might be coming for the throne at number 1 soon. If you guys agreed or disagreed with any of these picks, make sure to comment down below. And if you guys enjoy NFL and Madden 26 content in general, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!